Hello everyone, in this video we will learn the different types of chemical reactions. The contents are 1. What is a combination reaction? 2. What is a decomposition reaction? 3. What is a single displacement reaction? 4. What is a double displacement reaction? And 5. What is a precipitation reaction? What is a combination reaction? A reaction in which two or more reactants combine to form a single product. This is known as combination reaction. The general form is A plus B yields AB. Here we assume that A and B are any two compounds or elements and they combine to form a single compound AB. Combination reaction is also known as a synthesis reaction. Let's understand the combination reaction with few examples. The first one, sodium and chlorine combines to form a single product, sodium chloride. This is a combination reaction because two reactants combine to form a single product. Similarly, other two examples, magnesium plus oxygen gives magnesium oxide and barium plus fluorine gives barium fluoride. These are the few examples of combination reaction. Watch an experimental video on combination reaction.
Combination reaction. What is a combination reaction? Let's perform an activity to understand this. We have taken calcium oxide and water. Add the calcium oxide into the water and observe. We can see that calcium oxide reacts vigorously with water to produce slaked lime, which is calcium hydroxide, releasing a large amount of heat. In this reaction, two reactants, calcium oxide and water, combine to form a single product, calcium hydroxide. Such a reaction in which a single product is formed from two or more reactants is known as a combination reaction.
What is a decomposition reaction? A reaction in which a single compound breaks into two or more simpler compounds is known as a decomposition reaction. The general form is AB is equal to A plus B. Here, AB is a compound that splits into two other similar substances A and B. That is, a complex substance is decomposed into simpler substances. The example for decomposition reaction, calcium carbonate when heated gives calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. The decomposition reaction is affected by heat or light which dissociates the bonds. The decomposition of limestone calcium carbonate to make lime calcium oxide is an endothermic process. It is necessary to heat limestone to a high temperature for this reaction to occur. The reaction in which a compound decomposes due to heating is known as thermal decomposition reaction. Here, calcium carbonate, when heated, it gives calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. Similarly, hydrogen peroxide is heated to give water plus oxygen. Watch an experimental video on decomposition reaction.
Decomposition reaction. What is a decomposition reaction? Let's perform an activity to understand this. About 2 grams of ferrous sulfate crystals are taken in a dry boiling tube. Remember that it is green in color. Heat it over the Bunsen burner. we can see that the color of ferrous sulfate has changed to pink color ferric oxide and the characteristic odor of burning sulfur has evolved. In this reaction, you can observe that a single reactant, ferrous sulfate crystals, lose water when heated and the color of the crystals changes. It then decomposes to ferric oxide, sulfur dioxide, and sulfur trioxide. Ferric oxide is a solid, while sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide are gases. Such a reaction in which a single reactant is decomposed to form two or more products is known as a decomposition reaction.
What is a single displacement reaction? A chemical reaction in which a more reactive element displaces a less reactive element from its aqueous salt solution is called a single displacement reaction. The general form is A plus BC, which gives AC plus B. Let's understand what are more reactive elements. Metals that have a greater tendency to lose electrons and form positive ions are considered to be more reactive. The more reactive an element is, the more easily it combines with other elements to form compounds. In the general form shown, A is more reactive than B and hence displaces B to form the new compound AC. Reactivity is the tendency of an element to take part in a chemical reaction and to form bonds. This reaction is also called as a substitution reaction. The example for single displacement reaction: zinc is more reactive than copper. Hence, it displaces copper from copper sulfate and forms zinc sulfate. Similarly, magnesium is more reactive than copper and hence magnesium sulfate is formed. We will learn more about the reactivity of metals in chapter 3, metals and nonmetals. Watch an experimental video on single displacement reaction.
What is a displacement reaction? Let's perform an activity to understand this. We have taken copper sulfate solution in two test tubes and two clean iron nails. One set of solution and iron nail are taken for comparison. Insert the iron nails into the copper sulfate solution. Observe the reaction for about 20 minutes. Compare the reaction mixture and with the copper sulfate solution and also compare both iron nails. We can see the reaction has made the iron nail brownish and faded the blue color of the copper sulfate. In this reaction, the more reactive element iron has displaced or removed another less reactive element copper from copper sulfate solution. This reaction is known as the displacement reaction.
What is double displacement reaction? A chemical reaction in which ions get exchanged between two reactants to form a new compounds is called a double displacement reaction. It takes the form of AB plus CD gives AD plus BC. Here, the reactants are compounds of the form AB and CD. They interchange the ions and form the products AD and BC. It is also called as metathesis reaction. Many double displacement reactions result in precipitates and are therefore also called as precipitation reactions. We will look at some more examples later. The example for double displacement reaction: when sodium chloride is split into cation Na plus and anion Cl minus, positive and negative ions, and similarly silver nitrate splits into Ag plus and NO3 minus. The cations exchange with the anions in the reaction and form NaNO3 and AgCl. When an aqueous solution of silver nitrate AgNO3 is added to the aqueous solution of sodium chloride NaCl, a white precipitate of silver chloride AgCl is formed, and that is indicated by the following reaction. AgNO3 plus NaCl gives AgCl plus NaNO3. Sodium chloride remains in solution, meaning that exists as a sodium ion Na plus and chlorine ion Cl minus, whereas AgCl precipitates out. Similarly, in the second example, when an aqueous solution of silver nitrate is added to the aqueous solution of copper chloride, a white precipitate of silver chloride AgCl is formed. That is indicated by the following chemical reaction. Copper chloride plus AgNO3 gives copper nitrate plus AgCl, which is a white precipitate. Let's understand in detail what is precipitation reaction. A chemical reaction that involves the formation of an insoluble product is called a precipitation reaction. When barium chloride and sodium sulfate in the form of their aqueous solutions are combined, a white precipitate barium sulfate is formed, which is insoluble in water. The reaction also creates sodium chloride, which remains dissolved in water and cannot be seen. Here, double displacement reaction is taken place. The products formed is entirely different from the reactants in chemical composition. Watch an experimental video on double displacement reaction.
What is a double displacement reaction? Let's perform an activity to understand this. We have taken sodium sulfate and barium chloride in two test tubes. Mix these two solutions and observe. We can observe that a white precipitate of barium sulfate is formed. It is formed due to the reaction between barium ions and sulfate ions of sodium sulfate. The other product, sodium chloride, is also formed due to the reaction between sodium ions and chloride ions of barium chloride. The exchange of ions has taken place and it has produced two other products. Such reactions in which there is an exchange of ions between the reactants are called double displacement reactions.
Let's run through a quick recap and understand the following. First one, a reaction in which two or more reactants combine to form a single product is known as combination reaction. It takes the form of A plus B gives AB. Second, a reaction in which a single compound breaks into two or more simpler compounds is known as a decomposition reaction. It takes the form of AB, which gives A plus B. Third, a chemical reaction in which a more reactive element displaces a less reactive element from its aqueous salt solution is called single displacement reaction. It takes the form A plus BC, which gives AC plus B. Fourth, a chemical reaction in which ions gets exchanged between two reactants which form a new compounds is called a double displacement reaction. It takes the form AB plus CD gives AD plus BC. Fifth, a chemical reaction that involves the formation of a insoluble product is called a precipitation reaction. Okay, children, I hope you understood the types of chemical reactions. Please let us know if you have any doubts. See you in the next video, part 4, oxidation and reduction. Bye.